What it is, or should I say, what is up, YouTube? Or better yet, what's up, YouTube? It's your guy, Tudoe, two turn tails, the four T's. Um, this story right here is gonna be the time I got packed out. Yeah, I know, right? Like, and I'm just gonna tell you, if you're in the streets, you done either been packed out, you've been shot at, you've been stabbed, something of that nature. But then again, I'm gonna let you know right now, it's the energy you put out. So if you put out that type of energy, just know it's gonna come back to you. Nipsey Hussle said it best. Rest in peace, Nip. He said it best. So let me get into it. On this particular day, I don't know, what was I on? Oh no, this particular day, the homie had a fight. So the homie, he like, hey, come with me, to what school was that? I think it was it Linwood Middle? I think it was Linwood Middle. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. I think it was like by that school or not. I think it was by that school or not. I'm not too sure. I just know, I always used to be walking on one. I used to always be on the mission walking. So me and the other homie, we walk up there and shit. The homie like, yeah, cause they didn't even know we was coming. Like, it's just one of my young partners. I just like, fuck it, you feel me? Like, he look up to a nigga, I'm gonna take him under my wing. Like, you feel me? I ain't tripping. Like, and then I'm not the type of person that'll leave a nigga hanging. Like, I'm a loyal person. Like, so if I fuck with you, I'll fuck with you. You feel me? So I'm like, fuck it, let's roll up there. So I roll up there, but when I roll up there, I'm not sure if I walked up there by myself or if I walked up there and met them. I'm not too sure about that. I don't remember. The homie could confirm it because the homie was there, but I'm not too sure. So, yeah. So the homie getting down with the nigga, but the nigga, back then, this was about niggas and crews and cliques. So I guess the nigga was from a different clique and had an issue with the homie and wanted to fight the homie. So the homie getting down with him, but the homie, he fucked with like the other nigga that's not the homie. He fucked with like some Mexican type of clique. What the fuck? So I'm like, I guess, and then it's like a nigga with like I think the nigga had an afro, but he looked like a Mexican though. But we gonna get into that shit, cause this is how it all happened. So the homie getting down with the nigga, so they squabbing. And the nigga, every time he back, I'm like, nigga, stop taking. I tell a nigga like, nigga, stop backing up before I take you. So, if you ain't from California, when you say you gonna take a nigga, you just gonna give him a quick, like, you gonna snuff him, you feel me? So every time he get close, I'm like, nigga, stop moving like that. I'm like, the next time you move back, I'ma take you. And the nigga like kind of like was finna move back, but then the homie ended up squabbing with him. So they still squabbing, and then like one of the niggas that was there, and this is how everything happened. He was the nigga homeboy, but his brother is like, we ain't gonna get a hood no, we ain't gonna get him no props or none of that, cause they really, they caught niggas slipping. Who don't get caught slipping? But I guess his big brother was from somewhere, right? But he didn't call his big brother. He called his big brother, and his big brother called his homie. But his homie was from like a blood hood. I ain't gonna say the hood because I don't want to embarrass nobody, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh, this particular hood, they like, Crip lovers. You feel me? And I ain't disrespecting them. I'm just being truthful. Like, the hood, if I say the name, everybody gonna be offended, and we ain't Crip lovers. Everybody got a Crip partner or two, or a Crip family member or whatever. Like, that's, California's Crips and Bloods, you feel me? SAs, you feel me? Whatever, like, it's even Asian Crips out here, like, you feel me? That's how I go out here, but, for me, I'm part of the red team, so I'm not thinking about nothing like this shit. I'm like, okay, so the nigga call the nigga, walk over there and shit. So we walking, me and the homie walking back, but when we leaving from the fight, the young nigga on the bike talking shit, he popping shit. I'm like, nigga, shut up before I whoop your ass. Like, nigga, you ain't gonna. He started talking shit and ride off on the bike real quick, and he called his people called his homie. That's when his homie walk up. So when his homie walking up, I'm not thinking the nigga like on no type of time. So me and him have an exchange. He say, he see that I'm like the one that out of the group that's like kind of like I look the oldest. You feel me? So he like immediately pressed me, even though the other homie kind of taller than me. So I'm thinking he gonna press the other homie, but he pressed all of us really. He's like, where you niggas from? I get my exchange, he give his exchange. He like, all right, whoop, and then we walk away. So when we walk away, I immediately go right to the apartments. I go to the apartments where my folks at. I'm like, hey, check it out. They're like, what? I'm like, hey, tell me why I just got into a nigga from Wooty Woo Woo. They like, nah. I'm like, y'all know a nigga named Wooty Woo from Wooty Woo? Nigga like, hold on, that sound like a nigga we used to buy weed from. So I'm like, nah, my nigga, I'm on that. Like, you know, I'm on bullshit. Like they telling me like, nah, Tudoe, you tripping. Like, calm down. Now, I used to always be the one out the group tripping. I'm telling you, used to always be tripping. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna catch that little nigga. Now, I'm doing my homework. Like, if I see the little nigga on everything, I'm gonna do something to him. Cause the young nigga, the only thing, the reason why I really wanted to get at the young nigga, because he was in grown people business. Like, my young niggas, they young, they like his age, but my young niggas, we ain't on that type of time. We on some grown folks time. Like, they do whatever I'm doing, they doing. They ain't involved there. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna catch the nigga. And a homie like tell me like, yeah, the nigga stay off Wooty Woo Street. Oh yeah, all right, no shit, catch that nigga. So fast forward, it's like, I think it was like a couple days later or another week. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't know times, dates, none of that. I know places, but I don't want to say certain places because, like I said, I ain't giving niggas no clout, especially buster ass niggas that caught me slipping. You gets no clout because they ain't how it go. You feel me? But I'm just telling the story because it's a part of my life. So if it ever come out like, oh yeah, such and such caught him slipping, yeah, you did. But I'm gonna tell you the plus to the story too. So what happened was, after that happened, okay, yeah, I had my beach cruiser, so I had bought me a beach cruiser because I was tired of like walking. Because every time I walk somewhere, like walking down Long Beach Boulevard, you gonna always get into it with a nigga. You gonna always get into some bullshit. Like it never fails. Like, and I don't like to wait for the 60 because the 60 take forever. So I'm like, man, I used to just walk it. Man, I'm saying, fuck this, I'm finna get me a bike. Because at least if you riding a bike or a skateboard or something, it's hard for niggas to catch you or hop out on you. Because niggas used to hop out on and go, where you from? Oh, all right, this Wooty Woo Woo. Or niggas to hop out and be like, where you from? And niggas be trying to like bust at you while you walking Long Beach Boulevard. Like, they trying to bust at you. I mean, you know, they trying to shoot at you if that's what you want to know. Like, they trying to shoot at you or pack you out. That's what they used to do back then. It's like 2000 and I can't remember the date. Like I said, I don't remember the dates, but this was back then. The niggas who gonna see this video, they know what I'm talking about. So long story short, one night I just tell the other homie like, hey, ride with me over here. I'm finna see this nigga outside. I'm finna get at him. Feel me? I'm finna like fuck him up. Like, you feel me? So what happened was, and I'm gonna clarify the story because everybody gets the story wrong. What really happened? This is what happened. So we ride over there. I'm on the handlebars. I tell him like, ride my bike. You feel me? And if anything happen, go back to the apartments and go get everybody. Go get the squad. You feel me? So my squad is my folks. You feel me? And my young niggas, they used to run with us. So we call it, you know, we used to be like squad. You feel me? Or we didn't have no particular name. We just used to be like some type of shit, and we was all just a squad. You feel me? Like, and I hate to say it, like I had influence on the young niggas that was in that community right there in them apartments, and they looked up to me and my folks. You feel me? You know, and I hate to say it because I was telling them shit I was getting into, and niggas was like, I don't know what the fuck it is about violence that like glue people to you, but that's how it happened. Like, I was talking about all the shit I used to do before I got of age. So remember, I'm already older. I'm like 18, maybe 19, telling these young niggas what I used to do when I was like their age. So they like, oh yeah, like, you know, they like intrigued by this shit. I'm like, damn, I'm kind of fucking them up in a way. I don't want to do that. Niggas, long story short, niggas was influenced by me. So whatever nigga was on, they was on. Like, you feel me? Now I tell them like, you know, death come with the shit we doing. Death come with this shit we doing. So death come with it, and I'm kind of fucked. I'm not fucked up, but I think I fucked up. So death come with what you doing. Jail come with you doing. And whatever you into, you feel me, ain't no telling. We don't do no telling over here. So whatever you doing, you gotta own up to it as a man. And I'm telling you, my young niggas used to be some stand-up niggas. They used to take the rap for the shit they did. They didn't snitch on nobody. And niggas used to give niggas the treatment. If you snitch, niggas used to give you the treatment. You feel me? And everybody know what the treatment is. So back to the story. We ride over there. I see the nigga. Nigga riding the bike. I hop off the bike and try to catch the nigga. The nigga like did some shit to where he was like, Oh! He yelled for his folks. His folks at the end of the block though. So when he yelled for his folks, I tell him like, hey, get up out of here. So I take off running behind him, but this time I was smoking cigarettes. That's the only reason why niggas caught me, because I got winded. And niggas, you feel me? If it had not been for me smoking cigarettes, niggas wouldn't have caught me. Because I had wheels, but because I used to smoke cigs back then, I got winded. So I got winded, I'm like, fuck it. Like, if I'm finna die, right, like, I already told him, like, go to the apartments and get everybody. Get everybody to come over here. I don't know what the nigga was doing. I don't know if he went over there and got people or not. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. So, long story short, I get winded. I'm like, fuck this. Like, if I'm finna die right here, I'm finna die right here. Like, so, sure enough, one nigga, he a Crip, the other nigga blood. We get into it. I'm locking. I'm like, the nigga's like already on me. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not finna go out like no hoe. I'm finna fight. Nigga, I'm finna throw my shit up. We fighting. We squabbing. So, we squabbing and shit. I'm telling you, I'm fighting niggas that look like they fresh out the pen. Like, one of the niggas look like he fresh out the pen. He buff as fuck. The other nigga tall as fuck and lanky. But he got some size to him too. I'm short as fuck. I'm like fresh like 18, 19. Fuck it. So I'm squabbing. So I'm fighting, but then I'm trying to run away too. So while I'm trying to run away, niggas catch me. So when niggas catch me, one of the niggas like kind of put me in a chokehold and put me on the ground. So when he put me on the ground, I'm like, fuck, like, he like, where you from? Tell him where I'm from. All right, let him up. He like, I'm not gonna even do nothing to you, but you got my little brother fucked up or something. And he was like, yeah, you got my little brother fucked up or something, cuz. Like, he said something like that. I'm like, but I'm not looking at the nigga who talking to me. I'm looking at his homie, because his homie looking like he wanna maneuver for something. I don't got nothing on me. So I'm looking at the nigga like, and out of nowhere, the nigga who talking to me, he fire on me. He get off on me. When he get off on me, I start seeing stars. I'm trying to run, like, not run, but like, I'm running, but like, imagine you running, you like trying to throw punches and shit while running. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to run, get away. So while I'm running and trying to get away, the nigga like, the other nigga grabbed me again, put me on the ground. So they trying to press me to find out where the other homie live. I tell him some shit like, oh, he stayed with you at Whoop, but I point like going towards the Compton Swap meet. So they're like, all right. And I might have the story wrong, but I remember the nigga firing on me and I seen stars and I started running. But when I'm walking away, he like, oh, we ain't gonna even do nothing to this nigga. Let him go. Like, I'll give you your respect, my young nigga, because you fought back and you was trying to run, but you fought back at the same time. Like, you ain't no bitch. Like, and I'm like, but the whole time in my head, I'm like, if I ever see this nigga again, like, you already know what type of time it is. Like, I'm already living like this. So I'm like, you already know what's gonna happen when I see you again. So, I'm walking back, and this is some crazy ass, janky ass shit. So I'm walking back to the apartment to go tell my folks what just happened to me. And one nigga just walking up the street, but the nigga who know me, he live in another set of apartments that we call the Gondo. So the nigga, you know, he live on a Gondo. The Gondo, like back then on Euclid, if you lived or hang out on Euclid, you don't go to the Gondo. And if you on the Gondo, you don't come to Euclid, cause niggas on the Gondo didn't want to come to Euclid, cause Euclid was always turned up. So I'm like, the nigga walking, he see me, like, hey, what happened? He like, they packed you out? I'm like, yeah. He like, oh, bro, I didn't know that was you. This is just one of the niggas that I knew. But the nigga didn't know. I mean, I think he did know, but he just didn't want to interfere. You feel me? I feel like he was just like too scared to come down there and help. So the nigga's like, oh, no. Hey, bro. You bleeding. I'm like, what? I look at my hand, my lip split. So I'm like, fuck. Alright, bro. I'm like, hey, don't even trip. Niggas already know, so he already knew, because the nigga who I'm talking to already know, like, Euclid, niggas go up on Euclid. Like, we used to go up. So I'm like, fuck it. So I'm walking back, like, I'm enraged now in my mind. I'm calm, but I'm enraged, like, I'm ready to, like, basically do something to a nigga, like, where I'm fucking around, like, to the point where I'm, like, in my mind, like, I'm ready to go get life at this point. Cause I'm like, niggas that split my lip, niggas that pack me, no problem. So I'm walking back to the apartment, I get back to the apartment. I'm just sitting there. Like, I look down. Literally, I'm sitting like where I'm looking at my mouth, where I'm looking down, like literally blood dripping from my mouth, to where it's like a damn near, not a puddle, but like a little, like I see droplets of blood on the ground. So I'm like, all right, I'll spill blood. Somebody's spilling blood for sure. So the homie come out, but it's the homie that just got into a fight. So he already knew this my nigga though. He like, Tudoe, what happened to you? I'm like, the niggas packed me out. He like, who? I said, the nigga from Wooty Woo, the nigga from Wooty Woo. He like, oh yeah? He ran and got my folks. But to this day, I still don't know what the other homie was doing. When I gave you my bike to round and leave, what was you doing? Ain't that what I gave you the bike for, to go get niggas? I still want to know, what was you doing? But the nigga, long story short, the nigga, he ran and got my folks. My folks came back like, what happened? I'm like, I went over there tripping. Niggas called me and they packed me out. What? All right. Don't even trip. So after that shit happened, after that happened, I went home. My brother made sure I got to the house. He rode me to the train. He like, you going to the train, we riding you to the train. We all making sure you get to the train safe. Cause now you done got packed out. It ain't even like that. Like niggas already know. And we rode right past the block right after the shit happened. I'm like, hey, he gonna tell them niggas them niggas gonna come down there. He like, I don't give a fuck. Let them niggas come. We gonna wear all their ass out. I'm like, yeah, okay. So long story short, they telling niggas, but the niggas see I got my folks with me, so niggas like, oh, that nigga went back and got recruits. Like, he went back and got reinforcements. Oh, nah. They don't even come down the block when they see me deep. They like, we ain't gonna even fuck with him. We gonna leave him alone. So I get to the train and shit. I go home. I didn't even let my family see my face because I don't want nobody to know I just got packed out. So I don't want nobody to know that. So, oh yeah, what I didn't tell y'all, the young homie that I told you that I had his back in the fight, he like, such and such and them packed you out? I said, yeah. He said, oh, don't even trip. I'm gonna see that nigga at school tomorrow. It's going down. When I say it went down, my little nigga did not play. So my nigga, like literally the next day after that, because this is like a 2-part story. Next day, he called me like, hey, we finna, he like, hey, it's going down after school. Like, come up here. No problem. What? Grab my all black. Black hoodie, black sweats, black chucks. Grab my beach cruiser. I'm out the door. I literally shoot to the school. I shoot to the school where they going to at. I get up there. I'm like, what's up? They like, man, that nigga a hoe. That nigga didn't want to come out to school. He like, don't even trip though. I busted that nigga nose for you. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, I bust that nigga nose for you. That nigga was talking shit and I took off on me and I bust that nigga nose. I'm like, I felt good. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like a soldier. Like, I feel like a lieutenant and one of my soldiers took care of his business. You feel me? So, you know, niggas celebrated after that. You know, we got liquored up and everything. But them niggas didn't come over on Euclid. And niggas cannot sit here and say I'm lying. And I kept seeing a nigga after that. Till this day, I never put my hands on the niggas. I remember his brother gave me a pass. But I wonder if they knew the homie who was my homie, which ended up coming from their hood. I wonder did they ever find out that my nigga busted his nose. Who knows? But that's another story. Well, actually, that's not another story because we at the end of this story. So please like, comment, share. Like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.